Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, the news reported today that, I guess news from out of the Philippines came out and said that Manny Pacquiao is looking to fight Lomachenko. Now, they're saying that it should be, of course, a catch weight at around 140 pounds. And I just want to give my quick thoughts on that. Now, you can look at this two ways. You know, you could look at Manny Pacquiao and just look at him in absolute disgust. I say that because Manny Pacquiao has been fighting at 147 pounds for like the past, almost decade, if not more. And the thing about that is now, you have this guy, Manny Pacquiao. He'll capture the WBO title. But when it comes to trying to get any of the other titles at welterweight, he wants no part of it. He doesn't want any parts of Keith Thurman. He wants no parts of Earl Spence, no parts of Sean Porter. And for some particular reason, when negotiations for Danny Garcia and Adrian Broner come up, he don't want any parts of those guys either. Now, I'm not saying that when it comes to Danny Garcia and Adrian Broner that he has any type of fear, but the negotiations all of a sudden become extremely complicated. There may be a Manny Pacquiao issue, maybe Bob Arum, but at this stage in Manny Pacquiao's career, I'll put it on him because if he really wanted those type of fights made, he could have had his own promotional banner and made those fights himself. And then the thing about this, like, okay, they're talking about the catch weight. They're talking about 140 pounds. Now, another thing that, you can look at Manny Pacquiao and discuss is Terrence Crawford was just at 140 pounds, while Manny Pacquiao has been campaigning at 147 for years. So you're telling me, Manny, that you couldn't go down a weight, go down one weight class after you fought guys a lot bigger than Terrence Crawford and get in the ring with Crawford? Yes, we understand Crawford's stuff. We know it. Now, I think Pacquiao said he wanted like $20 or $30 million to fight Terrence Crawford, even though he wasn't bringing in the amount of money that he was in the past. To me, it's annoying. A guy like Manny Pacquiao, the type of legend that he is, I don't believe he fears anyone, but I believe after that knockout against Marquez, he's been extremely cautious. I mean, rightfully so. He's getting old. But my thing is, continue to do what you're doing. Fight the Jeff Horns of the world. Fight those lower tier but larger welterweights, and just do that until you decide to retire. But no. He wants to fight Vasily Lomachenko, someone that's currently campaigning at 130 pounds. I'm sure Lomachenko can go up to 135 with no problem. Now you can look at the other side of things and say, well, Manny Pacquiao started his career at much lower weight classes than Lomachenko. Manny Pacquiao, he moved up 8 weight classes and became champion in 8 different weight classes. And you know what? That's absolutely true. I mean, I could look at it and say, well, Lomachenko didn't have any problem fighting Rigondeaux, someone that's just as old as Manny Pacquiao, someone that's significantly smaller than him, a guy on Rigondeaux that can definitely make 118 if he tried, because I think that was around the weight that Rigo was discussing when he was calling out Chocolatito. So my thing is for Lomachenko, well, even though it's kind of disgusting and it's annoying on Manny Pacquiao's behalf, but Lomachenko has been pretty much doing, he's pretty much being asked to do the same thing that he asks of Rigondeaux. But the only difference is Manny Pacquiao is willing to give Lomachenko a catch weight. Now, if I'm looking at it from the current state of boxing now and how Lomachenko is being hyped, how they want to call him pound for pound #1 in the world over guys like Terrence Crawford, even over guys like Canelo, Triple G, Earl Spence, Keith Thurman. Like, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Lomachenko has never unified in a division. And you have guys walking around with undisputed status, holding multiple belts in their weight class, and Lomachenko haven't even accomplished that yet. And the guy's in his 30s. Now, I understand the amount of fights that he's had, but he's been on the fast track. and he definitely has the opportunity to attempt to unify his division right now. So him going up to 140 pounds to fight Manny Pacquiao, I think is a good thing for Lomachenko. Is Manny Pacquiao old? Yes, absolutely. He's old. But at the same time, you have Manny Pacquiao that has been in the ring with guys that could definitely campaign at 154. Manny Pacquiao, he's no slouch. Yes, did he lose to Jeff Horn? Absolutely. I feel like a much focused Manny Pacquiao could have beat Jeff Horn in dominant fashion, but we didn't get that. But guess what? We're not talking about Jeff Horn, a guy that cuts, goes through an extreme cut to make 147 pounds. We're talking about a guy in Lomachenko that's never campaigned at 140 pounds as a pro. He hasn't had a fight at 135 pounds as a pro. He's currently the WBO 130-pound champion. And having him skip over 135 to go to 140 to fight Manny Pacquiao, I think it's a good look. Now, some people may feel like Manny Pacquiao will be the underdog in this fight. And I could see how they would say that, but it's just one of those things where it could go either way for Bob Arum. Well, not necessarily. I mean, it can go either way for Bob Arum, and I say that because if Lomachenko was to knock off Manny Pacquiao, it doesn't matter that Jeff Horn did it. You have a smaller guy, daring to be great, moving up 2 weight classes. If he knocks off Manny Pacquiao, they're going to crown him the best fighter of the next generation, like following the Mayweather-Pacquiao era. And if Pacquiao was to beat Lomachenko, guess what? What does that do? That gives a whole lot of hype to Manny Pacquiao's name. Now, something that Lomachenko, I don't see him ever being able to do is to generate the type of pay-per-view numbers and the pay-per-view revenue that Manny Pacquiao has in his career. So I say this. What's more important to Bob Arum, an 80-plus-year-old man that definitely doesn't have another 10 years on this on this earth? Would it be better to have Manny Pacquiao knock off Lomachenko and then put Manny Pacquiao in some type of super fight? Maybe it's a Mayweather rematch. He finds some type of way to get Mayweather out of retirement and make that fight happen. Or if the fight is against someone else, who could it be at this point in time that can bring in those type of numbers? I don't know. Maybe even a Conor McGregor. But whatever the case may be, Bob Arum can definitely use the hype for Manny Pacquiao defeating Lomachenko a way to cash in. He can pretty much set the best records, the best numbers possible without a Mayweather fight, cash in, make $100+ million, have Manny Pacquiao retire. Bob Arum, he's not going to retire. He's going to keep going until he passes away. And then guess what? That extra $100 million is there for his family when it's all said and done. Then a guy like Lomachenko, he could just be a pawn in this situation. Bob Arum is well aware that Lomachenko doesn't bring in great numbers, even though he's definitely a great talent. It's just he's not one of those well-known, high-revenue generating fighters in America at this point in time. Now, when you got an old promoter like Bob Arum, I wonder this, since time isn't on Bob Arum's side, does he take into consideration why build up this guy, or he tries to cash out as early as possible to be able to pass that extra wealth on to the family. Now, if Lomachenko is trying to use the excuse that Manny Pacquiao was too old, I call BS. Simply because Rigondeaux was too old. You didn't have a problem fighting an older, smaller fighter. So fighting an older, larger fighter, that would be a good thing. Now, the only thing about this, the only thing that complicates this for Lomachenko, let's say he beats Manny Pacquiao, this will open up the floodgates for everyone from 135 to 147 that will be willing to shrink down to 140, and they'll be trying to fight Lomachenko. Now, the thing about it is that will be a hell of a storm for Lomachenko to go through. You'll have guys calling him out left and right. I know some top-ranked guys like Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford would probably jump on this opportunity to go back down to 140 to fight Lomachenko, even though he may be holding that WBO title at 147. You'll have guys like Adrian Broner that would try to jump on the opportunity to fight Lomachenko. Now, Adrian Broner, he's a big boy. And you all know how Adrian Broner rolls. If he can finesse it in the best way possible for for him to get in the ring and use his weight. Hey, it could be a possible short night for Lomachenko. You know, Adrian. People may say, "Well, I don't have confidence in Adrian Broner," and honestly, I don't either. But Lomachenko is a small guy. Adrian Broner set down Sean Porter at a catchweight of 143, and I believe Broner, if he connects, he definitely has enough pop to disrupt the Lomachenko in his game plan. But it's not even just limited to Adrian Broner. It's a number of guys out here. You know, you got Mikey Garcia as well, and there's plenty of people out here that can definitely put a whole lot of obstacles in front of Lomachenko if they decide to take that Manny Pacquiao route. My only question is it worth it? Now, is it worth it for Lomachenko if he comes out and he openly states he's going to go to 140, fight Manny Pacquiao? If he defeats Manny Pacquiao, he's going back down. He has no plans on staying at 140 at this point in time. If he puts that out there as soon as possible, or even while the talks and the negotiations are going on, then Lomachenko, I think he'll be okay. He needs to set in place, like if he was to defeat Manny Pacquiao, his next opponent would be someone at 135 or someone at 140. I mean, at 130, whatever the case may be. I feel like that's the best route for Lomachenko to go in that regard. But we'll see what happens. Maybe it's all talk. You know, we know Manny Pacquiao, he likes to stay relevant. And we just got to wait and see what happens. Me personally, it can go either way. The fight doesn't have to happen. It can happen. I don't see Manny Pacquiao fighting any top welterweights anytime soon. I don't see Manny Pacquiao fighting any top welterweights for the remainder of his career. And since Manny Pacquiao is a smaller guy, I say forget it. Go down 140. Try to get that fight with Lomachenko. Honestly, Manny Pacquiao, I think he should do a different catch weight. Go to 139, 138. Adrian Broner was able to weigh in at 138 when he fought against Mikey Garcia, so I know damn well Manny Pacquiao can make 138 against Lomachenko. That's just my thoughts on it, guys. This is Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Peace.